Yoga is an activity that requires physical exertion. Please ensure that you are in the proper shape to do yoga. And if you're unsure or have an existing medical condition, please consult your physician before beginning any yoga regimen. Thank you. Let's begin lying on the mat. You'll have a folded up blanket, not too high, right near the top of your mat. And you'll lie on your back with your shoulder blades on the blanket, but not your rib cage. And you can test that out by lying back. And your head will probably be on the blanket as well. And just the shoulder blades. So that if you were to arch and then press your back, you would feel that your whole rib cage is free of the blanket. And it's just the shoulder blades. And this is a good place to start the practice. You can have your legs bent or your legs straight. The purpose of this is to soften and release the tension from the big muscles that connect your lower body to your upper body, the psoas muscles. And they just need a time to go with gravity, stretch open, and rest. And while you're resting here, you're going to try to let your midsection, let your rib cage, let it soften to the floor. Don't try to force it to the floor. Don't press and use your abdominals to do that. We're just going to allow it to soften over time towards the floor. Arms out to the sides to wherever feels comfortable for you. And if you'd like, you can close your eyes and just begin to arrive here on your mat. Isn't it great that you made it to your mat today? The safe island of your mat, where you know that by the end of this practice, you're going to feel so much better. So allow the corners of your eyes to soften and allow your jaw to separate and the tongue to rest in the back of the mouth. And the back of your neck grows long. As you allow your shoulders to relax back with gravity. And now we're taking the journey inward, beginning with that first U-turn, taking the gaze inside and yoking or coupling our attention to our breath. Without changing your breath, just notice that you're breathing. Receiving your inhale. And as you exhale, you soften and relax. This is the time for you to take good care of your body, of your trillions of cells that accompany you everywhere, to give your mind a rest. This is your time. You will need to have some discipline here. You will need to have a focus to keep your mind here with you on the mat. And everything you need to think about and plan or worry about will still be there when you're done. But for now, devote yourself to yourself. Follow the breath as it comes in through the nostrils and it fills your lungs. And follow the breath out as it relaxes your body out, out. Follow your breath in and pay attention to it. And let it be exhaled out, out, Stay with your breath. There's no way to do this wrong. Just pay attention. The muscles that connect the lower body to the upper body are very much on guard. They are in direct contact with the nervous system and the diaphragm. And so if your breathing changes due to anxiety or stress or anger, these muscles react. If there is a stressor, an anxiety, an external input that you find fearsome or threatening, these muscles react. And the way that they react is they like to curl the body inward. So by lying here in this extended Shavasana pose, you're allowing those muscles to open while they don't have to work. It's actually a lovely service you're doing to these muscles. Let your breath help along with relaxing these muscles, releasing the tension out of them. Deep breath in. And soften as you exhale. Again, really deep breath in. Fill your abdomen, let your ribs widen, fill the lungs. And exhale, soften the abdomen and the ribs and the lungs. Very nice. Now we'll move the blanket out from our shoulder blades and just set it off to the side. Now bring the legs together. And we're going to walk both feet over to your right. Just walk both feet to the right until you feel a sensation of stretch on the hip of the left side. You'll feel the left rib cage stretch to wherever feels right for you. We're making a little banana shape or a little crescent shape. And only if it feels right, you can add an upper arm, the left arm reaching up and over into a stretch. Whatever's right for you, whatever your shoulder will allow, whatever your hips will allow, whatever your back will allow. Go inside yourself and honor your body. My body's making a shape, but your body doesn't have to match my body's shape, and vice versa. I don't have to match anybody's shape. Instead, go inside and devote yourself to listening. Listening to the sensations that are talking to you. Deep breath in. Slow breath out. Stay with this. Soften your rib cage. Try to soften your lower back. Long neck. Your eyes are quiet and soft. Deep breath in and a slow breath out. It's so important to connect with your sensations and to connect with your awareness before you start a practice. Alrighty, now taking the legs over to the left, baby steps, try to keep your feet together as they walk over to the left to wherever your hips and your rib cage wants to go, a gentle stretch. You can add your upper arm if you'd like, you don't need to. Once you find something that feels good and gentle, rest here. Soften yourself. Soften your expectations. Soften the need to do things right or to judge. And just be with yourself. Be with yourself resting. Deep breath in. Slow breath out. returning over and over again to worshiping yourself, worshiping your experience, worshiping your sensations, paying attention to you, to your cells, to what feels good. Everything else will still be here when you're finished. This is the time for you. Deep breath in and slow breath out. One more. Very good. And now walk the feet together, arms out like a letter T, and bend the knees so that the feet are on the floor. Lift your hips up gently and set them over to the right. You'll be a little wonky now. And then we're going to lift the feet up and take both bent knees over to the left. Let your right arm come along for the ride so that the right hand now meets the left hand. And now you're lying on your side. Very good. And we're going to pretend that the right arm is a second hand of a clock, and that the left hand is 3 o'clock, and we're moving counterclockwise. So go ahead now, take your right arm, float it up, and now bring it up overhead to 12 o'clock, and start to turn it counterclockwise over to the right. And as you do that, open your chest and lay both shoulders on the floor. Keep making a circle with your right arm down towards your thighs. We'll call that 6 o'clock. And now back up around to 3 o'clock. And again, bringing the arm in a circle overhead, 12 o'clock. Open the chest, stretch the arms out in a letter T, lay the right shoulder down. Keep going, 6 o'clock. And now turn your torso again towards the left, 3 o'clock. I think you got it now. So let's keep going. Back and forth like this, round and round we go. And so we're doing this to mobilize the thoracic spine. That's your upper back. And to mobilize your shoulders. And to give a good stretch into the pecs, the chest. There we go. Keep going. You don't have to rush. We're hydrating the body, bringing circulation into the body, pumping the lymphatic fluids that hold all those toxins that make you ache. If you pump it away, they go away. Okay, one more round we go, and then you're going to pause when your arms are separated at 3 and 9 o'clock, and we're going to rest here. Let your chest come towards the ceiling, shoulder blades down towards the ground, and also they try to slide towards your tailbone. Back of the neck is long, your eyes are soft, your jaw is soft. And take deep breath in, and a slow breath out. Try to soften the muscles of the groin and the inner thighs. If your legs don't touch, grab that blanket and put it right between your legs. That'll take some pressure off your outer hip. Deep breath in and a slow breath out. Stay inside. Bring your attention inside. Remember not to judge, but to be. Soften, relax. Let your breath help your nervous system relax. Very good. Now turn your palms towards the floor. Pull your navel in, really pull it into your back, and allow your abdomen to lift up your legs. And we're just going to rearrange ourselves so we're neutral again. So now we're in a straight line, tailbone on the floor, feet on the floor. Good. And here we go. We're going to go to the other side. So curl your tailbone up a little bit, lift it up. Set your bottom down towards the left. Lift the feet up, and legs go to the right. Your left arm goes with you for the ride, and the left hand now touches the right hand. And so the right hand is our 9 o'clock, and our left arm is our second hand, and we're going to be moving clockwise. So here we go. Bringing the arm up towards overhead, that's 12 o'clock. It's coming around now. It's coming around now to 3 o'clock, opening the chest, letting the shoulder touch down, and then keep going. The hand reaches 6 o'clock. We turn our chest to the right as the arm reaches 3 o'clock, hand to hand. Up we go again, 12 o'clock. Spin it around, open the chest, stretch, stretch, stretch. 3 o'clock, down to 6 o'clock. Allow your torso to turn again to 9. Here we go, around and around like so. You're going to feel that you might be stiff the first couple of rounds, and that's okay. Keep going on your own, at your own pace. But the idea is to remove that stiffness through movement, through pumping the lymphatic system. Deep breath in as you reach the arm up, and you can exhale as the arm goes down. Let's do 2 more. Really hydrating and mobilizing your upper back and your shoulder. You might feel this in your lower back. Very good. That was 2 more. Here on this last one, we're going to rest with the arms open wide like a letter T at 3 and 9 o'clock. Chest up to the sky, left shoulder blade trying to come down. Don't force it. If your left hip is hurting in any way or your inner thighs can't seem to relax, that's normal. Just bring that blanket or a cushion or a pillow, whatever's in reach, and put it between your legs. Deep breath in and a slow breath out. You will have one side that's tighter than the other. That is typical. Nothing to judge yourself about. All you're doing is being a good friend to all your cells right now. You're listening, spending time. Keep your deep breathing, keep your eyes soft, the back of the neck long, and let yourself rest on the floor. Very good. Palms turned down, belly in. Let the legs come up. Straighten yourself out. Good. Then we're just going to bring the knees in towards the chest and maybe rock the legs side to side, feeling a bit of a massage on that lower back. You can do anything here you want with your thighs. If you want to open and, make circles with them, that's fine. If not, that's fine too. Whatever you want to do, just let's bring some hydration into the hips. Okay. And we're going to get ready to turn over onto hands and knees. So do that in the safest way possible. I like to turn over completely on my side and do it that way. And so we'll be doing some work on the knees. I think you should bring your blanket over and put it underneath your knees. And so here we're going to bring the left foot forward in such a way that your bottom knee on the right is directly plumb line below the right hip, and that there's a 90-degree angle on the left side. We can call these two angles 90-90, right? Your foot can be flexed like so, if you need that kind of stretch. It can be pointed, whatever makes you feel stable, okay? Now the key here is we're going to be opening up the middle part of our body one more time. Opening up the thighs, opening up the rib cage. And to do that, we need to activate the opposite muscle. So I'm going to ask you to take your tailbone, just like a tail on a dog, and I want you to tuck it under. So you can try that again. Let the tail come out straight, and then tuck your pelvis under. You know you'll have it when you can feel your glutes activate on the right, and you can feel your quadricep getting a little bit of a stretch. So that's going to be locked into place. I'd like you to try to keep this posterior tilt the whole time we're doing this. So you can lock that in. You get some strong abdominals as you do this. Hands onto the thighs. We're going to take the right arm up. Reach your right arm up. Notice the sensation that as you keep reaching up, the stretch moves from the thigh across the pelvis and up into the ribs. And you can back bend or not, whatever feels right. And then round yourself forward all the way to the foot. And then come up again. Squeeze the pelvis under. Reach the arms high, up and back if you like, and round again. So we're going to do this a few times. We're going to prime that muscle and then stretch the muscle. So squeeze your belly in as you use the muscle, and then reaching up, back bend, and stretch. Very nice. We'll do 3 more coming up, and keep stretching. Rounding, pulling the belly in. Again, don't forget to squeeze your butt, squeeze your pelvis under. Okay, and then we'll hold this last one. We'll hold it with the arm up. So not only are we leaning back as much as you'd like, but then try now to lean not only back, but also to the left. So it's almost like our chest is at a diagonal here. And you're going to feel the stretch from the thigh. It crosses the pelvis. It goes up through the middle of your torso, right up to the ribs, maybe even in the armpit. And hold here and breathe. Pull your belly in, keep your pelvis tucked. If you're feeling some pain in your lower back, it's because your pelvis isn't tucked under. So go ahead and keep that tail tucked under. A couple of more deep breaths in. Very nice. Let the arm relax. You can shake out the arm. Then we're going to just try to bring our hands like a genie. Keep your pelvis tucked under. We're going to rotate to the left and back forward. To the left and back around. All the way over to the left and back around. Keep your pelvis tucked. Okay. Let's do about 3 more. Mobilizing the thoracic spine. All right, on this last one, we're going to stay there. We're going to stay. Take your right hand and place it on the outside of your left knee. And then if you'd like, your left hand can be on your hip. And you can try to rotate with your abdominals as much as you can. Don't use your right hand to torque yourself over. Use your abdominals to pull yourself over. That's just a nice resting place for the hand. If you'd like a little more chest stretch, you can take the left arm and you can reach the left arm out as well. If you're feeling daring, you can look over to the left hand with your eyes. Breathe, get as tall as you can. Tuck your pelvis under. Super tall spine, tall neck. That's it, you've got it. And coming down. Excellent. Bring both arms up. And we're going to exhale and bring the hands down towards the floor and just kind of crawl your front foot forward, wherever it wants to go, almost as far as it can go. Okay? And so from here, we're going to try to lift the spine into straight-ish. I know it's difficult. And then we're going to pull the hips back, flex the foot, and we're going to feel woohoo right there in that left hamstring. And then bend the knee, put the foot down, bring the chest up, squeeze your chest out. You can lift your hands if you need to, that's okay. Hands back down, send your hips back, left foot flexes, go right into a stretch on the left leg, and then shift forward again. So we're just going to go back and forth, like so, mobilizing and hydrating these joints and these muscles back and forth. Take the pace that works for you, not too slow, not too fast. We'll do 2 more. Stretching back, feeling that moment. And by now you can probably tell that you've already gotten a little bit deeper into your stretch. Although that's not the necessary goal, it is just a natural consequence of hydrating your body. Let's hold this last one. Stay back, foot flex, let your head be heavy. Breathe. Do your best to hold your torso up with your back muscles. so you don't collapse. And just breathe into the back of the left leg, gentle with your thoughts. Nothing your body is doing wrong. Your body's only responding to how it's being trained every day, to what it's doing every day, to the environment it lives in every day. So there's no reason to be angry at your body. Right now you're going to send it love, like a good friend. You're listening and you're wishing it well. Very, very good. Okie dokie. And now we'll switch sides. So we'll bring your left leg around. Right leg in front. Not too complicated. So make sure that you have 90 degrees at both legs. That front knee is plumb with the ankle, right? And the back hip, the knee is plumb with the left hip. Okay, we have 90-90, and again, we're going to take that pelvis and we're going to tuck it under, so much so until you feel an opening in your left hip. There's really no reason to shift forward and hang on these joints. That's very dangerous. If we keep doing that over and over again, it's going to cause problems. So instead, activate opposite muscles. Squeeze the pelvis under, activate that left glute. Come on, squeeze those glutes. We got tummy pulled up and in. Now we bring the left arm up to sky and start to feel the stretch rise up into the ribs. Inhale. Now exhale, draw the belly in, bow forward, use your abdominals, touch the foot if you can, and then the opposite, come back up. Inhale to a stretch. Keep your pelvis locked, roll forward, pull your belly in as you do it, and inhale, come on up, stretch. So keep going like this, trying to use the muscles on the front body and then the muscles on the back body, all the while keeping your pelvis tucked so you can stay safe in the lumbar spine and also allow the front muscles to release. This is good. We're going to do 2 more. Yeah, so it's not just back. Remember, it's also up. It's up towards the ceiling. Lift, lift, lift. Ooh, yes. All right, last one. Here we go. We're going to hold it. I want you to try to lift to the ceiling. Try to touch the ceiling. Let your shoulder blade come on up. You can relax your right shoulder blade. You can let your gaze be forward. Reaching, reaching, reaching. You can back bend to whatever degree you'd like as long as you can keep your pelvis tucked. And then take this over to the right. I mean, even an inch, right, can feel big. So hold it wherever you feel comfortable and keep breathing. Activating your left glute, squeezing and feeling it work. The more you can work that muscle, the more the psoas can relax. Relax your right shoulder. Relax your face and jaw. Deep breath in and a slow breath out. Sometimes you might feel tingling, and that's okay. We're working these side lines of the body, the front lines of the body. This is all okay. Breathe deeply. Very good. Let's bring the arm down, and you could shake out your arm if you need to. Then we'll bring the arms into like a genie, and we're just going to twist to the right and back to the center. So tuck your pelvis under. Let's help you stabilize here. And you're going to use your abdominals to pull your spine around, and then back to the front. And pull your spine around, and back to the front. Squeeze your belly. Let your belly do the work. Exhale as you squeeze, inhale as you come out. Exhale as you squeeze and turn, and inhale as you come out. There we go. Good, we've got 2 more to go. Keep hydrating that middle spine, working that left glute, right? Okay, we're gonna hold this one. So go as far as you can, then your left hand just gonna rest. It's a gesture, it's just gonna rest on the leg. It's not pushing at all. The left chest is lifting up. Right hand could be on your waist, and you could turn your eyeballs and your neck. Lift up tall. You can reach your right arm out if you'd like or not. Whatever works. Just because you did something on one side doesn't mean it can be done on the other. That is all up to your body. Breathing. Very good. And now it's hands down on the mat, crawling that front foot forward. There we go. Say hello to your feet. All right, so we're going to shift back, and as we shift back, we're allowing the foot to flex, and we're pulling the right leg into a stretch. Keep some strength in your upper body if you can, and then shift forward. Lift the chest, lift your back bend. Your hands might come off the floor, and that's okay. Fingertips back down, stretch back, flex the foot. Shift forward, lift your chest, come into a little back bend. Good. Fingertips down, pull your hips back, flex your foot. We're just going to keep rocking this way, hydrating everything. When you move, you pump your lymphatic system. Your lymphatic system is like the bathroom. It's got all the toxic metabolic waste. And if it gets stagnant, boy, that's a mess, right? So we want to pump it and move it through. It cannot move on its own. It needs skeletal muscular movement in order to flow. Let's hold this last one. Send your hips back, toes up towards the ceiling. Try to put some effort into your spine to hold your torso up. Don't collapse. Your eyes can be soft, your head can hang. Holding this stretch. These are tight muscles for almost every person, especially in the calf and behind the knee. And that's just okay. You just take care of your body. It's going to be fine. Just because it's tight doesn't mean there's something wrong. You don't have to blame yourself. Just take care of yourself. Alrighty, now let's bring that knee back behind us. And we're going to take the blanket out of the way in a manner that works for you. And let's bring the hands to the top of the mat. The hands are shoulder width apart. Turn the thumbs towards the top of the mat. Fingers are spread apart. And pull your fingers into the mat. So it's almost like your hands are suction cups. Rotate your elbows towards the front if you can. Flexing the feet. Pull your belly in and round your spine. Press your shoulder blades away. Tuck the chin. Now squeeze your shoulder blades together. That's going to press the chest out. Let the pelvis tip and look up just a little bit. Don't look up too much. Good. Again, press the shoulders away from each other, pull the belly in, let the pelvis tuck under, and then reverse. Back bending, pelvis tilts, shoulder blades squeeze together, look up a little bit, and back and forth like this. Exhale as you curl. Inhale as you extend. Mobilizing the shoulder blades and the entire length of the spine. Very good. Now come to neutral and notice again your abdominals and pull your abdominals up into your belly. Don't let them fall out towards the floor. You're going to pull them in and hold them in. Flex the feet and watch here. You're just going to lift your knees and hold. Hold. Don't come up too high. Just lift your knees a little bit. Pull your belly in away from the floor. Give me 5 more seconds. Shoulder blades are activated. Hands are suction cups. Your face is relaxed. You got this. And knees down. Point the toes. Walk the hands forward. Then pull your hips back and give yourself an extended child's pose stretch. Good. Hands back into position. Underneath the shoulder blades. Thumbs pointed forward. Shoulder blades are separated a little bit. Flex the feet. Pull your belly into your body and just hover your knees over the ground. Hover and get strong here. Strong arms, strong core. Pull your belly in. Pull your pelvic floor in like you're holding in your pee. And breathe. You're relaxed and strong at the same time. Relaxed and strong at the same time. And knees down. Walk the feet forward, the hands forward, sorry. Lay the chest down and stretch. Come back to the setup where we have the wrists underneath the shoulders, thumbs pointed forward. We're going to take this a little bigger now. So that's how you initiate downward facing dog. Your feet are flexed, toes are gripping, hands are gripping, shoulder blades are apart. You're drawing your navel in, and the navel initiates the movement. So instead of pushing back into downward facing dog, I'd like you to try to hover your knees for a minute. And then stay with that. Keep pulling your abdomen up. Let your hips go up to the ceiling. Legs are getting straighter. Then when you're there, then you let yourself get pulled backwards. Keep your knees bent. And let's start with this first downward facing dog. Keep your knees bent, please. Let's work on opening up the shoulders, letting the head be heavy as a stone. And belly is pulled in. Now you can still breathe deeply because you're breathing from your mid-belly. Your low belly and your pelvic floor are lifted, holding you up, helping you here. Let your head be so heavy you can nod. Breathing deeply. And let's put the knees down on the floor. Walk your hands forward and sit back and stretch. Let's try it again. Wrists directly under shoulders, thumbs pointed towards the top. Hands are gripping the mat, shoulder blades pressed apart. Pull your belly in. Now lift up just your knees, hover, and then keep going with that until your hips are up high towards the ceiling. Press yourself back, keep your knees bent, and keep pressing yourself back and back and back and back. Knees are bent here. We want to try to decompress the spine. If the hamstrings are really, really tight, they're not going to let us make the spine really long. It's going to curl the spine under, and that's what we don't want right now. So this posture is designed to help decompress the spine. So your head needs to be super heavy. Knees are bent. A few more deep breaths in. Stay with your body. Be a good friend to your body. Don't quit on your friend. Don't quit. Stay with it. Alrighty, knees down, and we'll take that one more time. Walk your hands forward and a nice big stretch. You can let your head rest if that works for you. And one more time, we'll try to get into downward facing dog, and then we'll start to move the legs a little bit more. So here we go. Pull your belly up. And hover those knees and then take it all the way back. So now both knees are bent. Your shoulder blades are apart. Your belly's in. Your head is heavy. Keep one knee bent as you press the other leg straight and drop the heel. And then switch. And switch. So we have a pumping action here. This is very good for your heart. Very good to move that lymphatic system. So keep pumping on your own. Don't let yourself collapse. So keep your shoulder blades apart, belly in, head is heavy. Yeah, and you're going to feel that you'll start to loosen up. Isn't that incredible? Just by moving, you can feel better. A couple of more times. All right, now we're going to take both heels up, way up high. Press your chest towards your knees. Good, head is heavy. And then slowly lower the heels to wherever they want to go. Hey, if your heels don't touch the ground, big deal. Soften your knees. Get your chest closer to your thighs. Pull your belly in. Separate your shoulders. Head is heavy. Doesn't matter too much about your heels. There's no awards for this. This is about you being good to you. Meeting yourself where you are. Deep breath in and a slow breath out. Very good. Now let's bring the knees down. And spin your legs around so you can come sit on your bottom. Here we go. Good. And so I'll show you in this way. So we're going to come to this position where I have the right foot tucked in to the right thigh. And you can take your blanket here. If your thigh doesn't come down, that's okay. Boom. Done. Put that blanket under there, okay? So always be nice and forgiving to your body. Be gentle, be forgiving. It's all the body you've got. Some people might experience a little pain behind the left knee in this position. Same idea. Roll that blanket and rest it. That feels great, actually. Rest the knee there. I'm going to leave that. Feels pretty good to me. Okay, but the idea here is that we also want to pull up. So you're pulling yourself up. You're trying to grow your spine long. This right knee is trying to come down towards the mat, but your torso is trying to come up. Your head's trying to come up, wearing that crown, right? Or balancing a book on your head. Remember that? Good. And so we're here. We're holding. Let's flex the foot on the left side, right? Very good. And so it might happen that, oh, I'm already more flexible. I can already not need this. That's what's just happening to me now. Just in a few moments, it'll happen to you too. So here we go. So what we're going to do is we're going to reach over to the left foot to work on the hamstring of the left leg. So you're going to take your right arm, keep your chest up high, and take your right arm and reach towards the foot, and then come right back. Turn and reach towards your foot, and then come right back. That's it. Just going to reach and come right back. Every time you reach, you draw your belly away from the fingertips, come up, get tall. So reach, pull away with the belly, come up, get tall. So belly's moving in, fingers reaching out. Come up, get tall. Let's go 3 more. Reach, come up. Reach, come on up. Reach, come on up. Now both hands frame the left thigh. Try to bring your chest up high. Try to bring your pelvis up and around. If you can't do this at all, you can even sit on the blanket. If it gets you higher, that can help. So we're reaching over here, we're flexing the foot. And without hunching the spine, so without dropping and collapsing, we're trying to get a strong back in yoga. It's going to hold you up. They say you're only as young as your spine is flexible. So we want to keep that spine strong and mobile. Keep your chest up high, and instead, you're going to drag your fingers. Pull with your fingers to get your chest up high. Your left foot is pulling, and you're activating the top muscle, and you're turning yourself here and leaning forward with as much of a straight back as you can muster. You're going to feel some activation on your QLs back here. You're going to feel maybe tremoring or shaking on the top thigh, or you'll just feel it working. But the idea is that engaging the opposite muscle will help stretch the target muscle. Breathing. Here we go. Good. Excellent. Now let's take the left foot and swing it behind you. And then we'll see if you can let your left hip come down towards the floor. If you can't let the left hip come down, if it doesn't want to today, that's okay. Just sit on something, right? Okay? There's always a way. There's always a way. So we're here, and then we're going to take our genie arms, and we're just going to start to rotate our spine a little bit more. And now we're going to turn those genie arms into cactus arms. And then our cactus arms are going to hold 2 trays. And we're going to keep spinning like this. Good. And now turn to the right and stay to the right. Stay turned to the right. Your right hand can touch the floor. Now your left hand again is just a gesture. It's just holding, but it's not pulling. You're pulling with your muscles and your strong back, because that's why you came to yoga, to get strong and flexible, not to force yourself. So this is just a gesture. Sit very tall, sit majestic. Now take your back hip and lift up your back hip and roll your back hip forward. Keep going. Now you might start to feel a nice stretch in the hip that we're working today. If you do, you can walk your fingers, your right hand fingers, walk them backwards until you're leaning back. Oh yeah, here we go. And just like that opening stretch, we're going to reach the arm up and try to back bend here and feel a lovely stretch in the hip. Good. Right arm getting strong. Left side body. Stretching and releasing. Very good. Now, put your left hand down so you can come back to sitting. And from here, both knees up, crossing the left foot over the right ankle into a seated figure 4. So the closer in your foot is to your buttocks, the harder it will be. You can walk your right foot out. Now, don't sink or collapse, because that's not why you came. You came to have the very opposite feeling, didn't you? You came to have the feeling of royalty, of dignity. So shoulders back, chest up high, neck long, face relaxed. Keep lifting your chest, and as you keep lifting your chest, you'll notice that it affects the stretch, right? But that when you collapse, the stretch goes away. So lift up your chest, shoulders back, long neck, dignified. Now, to keep your left knee safe, go ahead and flex your left foot. You can rock your hip back and forth. Let it glide in its own socket. Rockin', back and forth. A little bit more. Yeah. And then you're going to find that suddenly you might move your right foot in towards your body. It happens very quickly. The body wants to release. It's always moving towards homeostasis, towards balance. Good. Let's hold the stretch a little bit longer. Just be static here in your dignity, breathing deeply. Very good. We're going to do this all on the other leg. So we're going to take the legs down. Now our left leg is already there, where it's bent. So you're going to bend your left foot in towards the left thigh. Right leg out to the side a bit. Doesn't have to be too much, wherever works. If your goal is to try to be super flexible ballerina gymnast here, and you're not, you're going to miss out on the benefits of the practice. So just go to where it feels okay. You have your blankets, you can use that to help. So again, we're going to try to now lift ourselves up really tall, dignified, confident, self-assured, flexing the right foot. And now we're going to just do some twisting and reaching. Pull your belly in as you reach with your left hand towards the right foot, and then come back up and around tall. Pull the belly in, reach to the foot, come back up super tall. And again, several times like this in a pumping action. Every time you're coming up super tall, work your back muscles, work your posture. Good. Work the feeling that you want, the feeling of dignity, of self-assuredness, that all is well. A couple of more times, noticing you're stretching and reaching, keeping that right foot flexed. Okay, now both hands to frame that right leg and lift up your chest. Try to bring the bottom of your chest, try to bring that up and keep it up as you try to bring it forward, flexing the right foot. Now activate the quadricep on your right side. Squeeze the top of your leg. Pull your foot in. Activate this entire line of muscle. Activate your back to lift your chest. And then pull your straight spine forward if you can. Relax the face, dragging the fingers to help you pull. You'll feel this in your back maybe. You might feel it in the opposite hip. You could feel it under the knee. Wherever you feel it is okay. It should be like a 7 or 8, but not a 10. Okay, just gentle. Breathing deeply. That's it, you got it. Wonderful. Now we'll take the foot and we'll bring it behind us. And again, you could sit on a blanket. This is a challenging position, no question. Or you can, see if you can bring the hip down. It'll happen over time. And then arms like a genie, we're just going to turn and start to loosen up here. Right? And then our genie arms are going to become cactus arms or goalpost arms. Right? And then we're even going to flex at the wrist or extend at the wrist and hold 2 trays. It's kind of a funny thing, isn't it? Oh, but you can feel your back popping. You can feel your arms getting strong. One more time. Good. And then hold yourself twisted to the left. Again, the hand is just a gesture. It's just here in a gesture of receiving. Lift your chest up really high. For the twist, you're trying to pull that right hip down towards the floor, the chest up and high and away. And breathe. Soften your face. Maybe even train your eyeballs. Want your eyeballs to be trained today? Good, then take your eyeballs all the way to the left. What do you see? Hopefully you see your best self. Okay, good. Now if this is okay, we can start to take the left hand and walk the fingers behind us even more, walking those fingers until we can lean back. And now we'll take the right hip, we'll lift it up and forward. Right arm, reach it up to the sky and take a big old back bend if you can. Your right knee is driving towards the floor. The right hip is up and over. Right arm reaching up high. We're getting an entire stretch of the front line. Breathing deeply. Very good. Keep going. That feels good. Love that one. Hands down to help you come up. And now we're ready for figure 4. So don't start too tight, right? Start with your left foot out a good distance and get that right leg over. So it's really like my ankle is free of the thigh. I don't want the foot on the thigh, if you can, right? So that ankle is free to move, but we're going to flex it to keep your knees safe. And we're not going to slouch. We're not going to be bummed out. We're almost done with yoga. We want to feel good. Ready? Grow your spine. Lift up. Chest up high. Shoulders back and down. Neck is tall and long. Maybe take a smile because you love to feel this dignified. Right? Lift up. And allow the stretch to happen under these circumstances, under the circumstances of feeling good, dignified, self-assured. Close your eyes if you want to, and just notice what it feels like to sit like this. Very good. And now to close the practice, we're actually going to close it with a seated meditation or stillness. So you can take a blanket and you can sit right on the blanket and tucking your feet in and allowing your knees to go down towards the floor. This is what I'm doing. This is something a little bit different. But I think it's important to be able to maintain this quality of a free midsection, a long, strong spine, and a feeling of dignified confidence. If this is difficult for you, you can try to sit on something even higher. You could sit in a chair or go ahead and lie down. Either way, it's going to work. So wherever you decide to be, arrive in that position. And start to soften your eyes. Relax your mouth and your tongue. And let your shoulders drop down as your neck gets long. Feel that you're all lined up, that your head is tucked back a little bit so that your neck is in alignment. And now begin to notice your breath. Don't change the breath, just be with the breath. Sit down and have some tea with your breath. See if you can soften the muscles of your rib cage to allow the breath to deepen. Notice how your body is being breathed. And as you notice that you're being breathed, at the same time you recognized that you are not your breath. You are not your body. Because as soon as you're aware of your breath and body, you become separate from it. You realize you are not the mind or the breath or the body. You are the observer. Life is moving through you. Allow it to move through you. Soften yourself. Elongate yourself. And allow this breath to soothe you and nurture you as you rest and integrate what we did today. Soften the eyes and the jaw. Stay long, stay tall, and let yourself be breathed. Take a deep breath in. And a real slow exhale. If you're lying down, gently make your way to sitting and try not to disturb the peace that you've created. And let's just take the head into a few neck rolls. Make sure to go in both directions. And we bring the hands together at the heart. Lift your chest up high. Neck is long, but gaze down at your fingers. Inhale and exhale. Om. To yourself or out loud. Thanking yourself for this time you devoted to your body, to your cells, and to your mind. Namaste.